Thank you for your introduction. My name is Benjamin Dogno. I am a critical care physician. I would like to thank you, the Professor Mebaza, to give us the opportunity to present our results. During my PhD, I mainly work on the CDPP3 for circulating dipeptidase number 3 as a biomarker of acute cardiovascular condition. I am proud to present you our latest result entitled High CDPP3 levels are associated with poor outcomes in shock, results from the FROG-ICU study. Shock state is a common condition in ICU. It's defined as a life-threatening condition of circulatory failure, leading to an imbalance between delivery and needs of oxygen and leading to tissue hypoxia. The main etiologies of shock are sepsis, cardiogenic shock, and hypovolemic or hemorrhagic shock. It's a frequent disease in ICU, 15 to 20% of ICU admission. This is a very, very severe condition with a mortality near to 20-30%. Unfortunately, no strong prognostic biomarker are available to predict outcome of ICU patient in shock. CDPP3 is a metallopeptidase mainly involved in the cleavage of cardiovascular peptide, namely angiotensin II. We previously demonstrated that DPP3 is associated with mortality in cardiogenic and septic shock. In 2021, Frigesi et al. Demonstrated in a Swedish cohort of 2,000 patients that CDPP3 levels at admission were associated with the 30-day mortality in septic, cardiac arrest, and traumatic patients, but no data on shock were available. So the objective of the study was to compare the CDPP3 prognostic properties in septic, cardiogenic, and hemorrhagic shock in a prospective multicenter study. The study in question is the FROG-ICU study. This is a multicenter and prospective observational study with 2,087 patients included. The criteria of inclusion were the mechanical ventilation for more 24 hours or catecholamine infusion. CDPP3 was measured at 2 time points at inclusion. This is the CDPP3 baseline, and at discharge. After ICU discharge, patients were followed during 1 year. The result, 2,087 patients were admitted in ICU during the study period, and among them, 665 patients were admitted for shock. The main etiologies of shock were septic shock, 64%, cardiogenic shock, 20%, and hemorrhagic shock. The 20-day mortality was 27%, and the 1-year mortality was 47%. Baseline circulating DPP3 levels were higher in shock patients when compared to non-shock patients at admission, 20 versus 70.5. When we analyze by type of shock, we observe on the graph of the left that 20-day non-survivors have higher CDPP3 levels at admission when compared to 20-day survivor. Whatever the type of shock, and we observe that the higher level of DPP3 was observed in hemorrhagic shock. On the right on the slide, this is a Kaplan-Meier curve representing the proportion of patients surviving according to the time after the ICU admission until 28 days. Patients were categorized by levels of CDPP3, and the red line corresponds to the patient with a higher level of DPP3 above the 5th quintile. We observe that higher the DPP3 levels at admission, higher the mortality. by analyzing by type of shock. In septic, cardiogenic, and hemorrhagic shock, this is the same thing. In red, you have the patient with high CDPP3 levels above the 5th quintile, and in green, this is patient with low DPP3 levels at admission below the 5th quintile. We observe that the mortality is higher in the patient with high CDPP3 level in ICU after admission. On the right of the slide, you have the proportion of patients surviving after ICU discharge, ICU discharge, during the follow-up of 1 year. We observe that the patient with the higher level of DPP3 have more chance to die during the follow-up. And we are interested in the occurrence of organ failure according to levels of DPP3 at admission, and namely acute kidney injury. Among our patients of 665, we observe 64% of patients with acute kidney injury. And in this patient, we observe the high level of DPP3. And interestingly, we saw that the level of DPP3 was associated with the KDIGO stage, so the gravity of the acute kidney injury. So we observe in this study that shock patients with CDPP3 levels at ICU admission, DPP3 is a prognostic marker of 28-day mortality and occurrence of acute kidney injury. At ICU discharge, DPP3 is a prognostic marker of 1 year mortality. We confirmed our previous results in septic and cardiogenic shock patients, but this is the first time where CDPP3 was measured in hemorrhagic shock and all cause of shock in ICU. Prospective studies are needed to confirm this result. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you, Benjamin, with your excellent presentation. Now it's time for questions. Any question from the floor? There? Oh, no, she's the distributor. If not, a microphone?
A microphone for...
Where is the microphone?
Thank you.
Can you hear me? Oh, good. So every time I do, this is a great paper and really nice results. And every time I've done a paper like this, where I report a single marker of prognosis, I get hammered by the journal, who says, "What's the improvement of this over the existing markers? So how does this compare to troponin or any other marker that you would think would be valuable?"
Sorry, could you repeat your question? I don't understand.
Is this better than troponin?
Yes, this is better than troponin.
You need to show it.
Yeah. All my results are not in the presentation.
And what are you measuring with the DPP3? Exactly, inflammation or?
Actually, we don't know what is the target of this enzyme, DPP3. This is probably mostly a marker of shock, but we don't know what is the target of this enzyme. This is most a marker of shock.
Do you correlate the DPP3 results with hypoxia or?
No, not in this paper.
Yeah, because we don't know how it works.
It's better for example, it's better for if we have a reflection on lactate. It's better than lactate. Hypoxia, it's better than lactate.
Yeah, okay. No, but to have some clinical correlated with this increase in your DPP3, I don't know, hypotension, hypoxia, use of catecholamine, that could be interesting.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.